Good morning, Symphonic Band. I wanted to take a little bit of time today on our last asynchronous day. Today's the 16th, and just focus on the minor scales. I still feel like it's good to review these things, even if you have a good handle on it. So there's actually three forms to the minor. There's the natural minor form, harmonic minor, and melodic minor. And what I've done here is I put the scales, the eight scale degrees or seven scale degrees, however you want to think of it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this symbolizes a whole step and a half step. So it's a half step between 2 and 3 in a minor scale. So natural minor is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. And then you can see here for harmonic minor, 1 through 5 is the same, actually 1 through 6, but then there is a raised seventh, and that's why I have the whole step plus a half step. This actually ends up being an augmented second and then a half step to finish. And then in melodic minor, you have a whole step between 6 and 7, or 5 and 6 and 6 and 7. So you raise the 6th and the 7th, and then it heads down in natural minor. So remember, every major scale has a relative minor. So for example, in C major, you have your C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and if we went 2 octaves, would be there. You can extract the minor scale from the major. It's right here. So A minor and C major have the same key signature, which is no flats and no sharps. And then when we go to harmonic minor, you see we raise the 7th scale degree of the minor. And then in melodic, we raise the 6th and the 7th. And we're borrowing from the parallel major. So what we're doing is we're borrowing from A major. We're borrowing scale degree 6, the raised 6th, F sharp, and G sharp. That's kind of how to think of it, you know. So it's still an A minor scale, but look at the similarities between A minor and A major. They're identical except for the third. And that's what makes it a minor scale, is that third scale degree, that lowered third. Okay. So when we raise scale degree 6 and 7, we are borrowing from the parallel major. That's the idea. So as a musician, you want to get comfortable with your majors and your relative minors. So for example, if we look at the circle of fifths, you can see your major scales here. So C major and A minor, they're relatives. They don't have any flats or sharps. If we go up a fifth, C, D, E, F, G, we're at G major, which has 1 sharp. Its relative minor is E minor. You can figure that out by going to scale degree 6 of G. G, A, B, C, D, E. Scale degree 6 is the beginning of the minor. Remember, we just did that here. Scale degree 6 of the major is the minor, okay? So just remember that. You could also think of it by going, 1, 7, 6. You could go down to the 6th scale degree. So learning your majors and your relative minors is really a great goal for you. Okay, so for today's assignment, you're going to play a minor scale with the 3 forms and record yourself doing it. And I'll go ahead and assign that in Canvas. I think we'll probably just start with the first minor scale in the Wind Technique book. Just take your time and really get a good sound, and just recognize what you're doing when you're playing those scales, that you're playing the natural form, the harmonic form, and the melodic form that I just talked about, okay? As you go around the circle, if you memorize all your sharp keys, C, G, D, A, E, here, the reason that they're showing 2, and we can talk more about that later, is B major has 5 sharps. But if you spelled it inharmonically instead of B starting on C flat, that would be the scale with all 7 flats. So if we're going this way on the circle, or we're going this way on the circle, there are 3 keys that you could do in sharps or in flats. You could spell it either way. They sound the same, but you can write them out 2 different ways. Thanks for keeping up on all your asynchronous work this week. I'll also have a little extension on this assignment, which is practicing your minors on musictheory.net. But for sure, record yourself playing one of the minor scales from the Wind Technique book today, and I'll have that one assigned. Nice job keeping up on things, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody next week, or many of you next week. I'll see all of you next week, either on the computer or some of you in person. Appreciate your musicianship and your guys' work ethic. Keep it up.